Welcome to the Four Seasons, and today we're going to be fixing or tuning up a lawnmower that won't start, so stick around. Grass. You either love it or hate it. If you're a guy, probably both. You want a nice lawn, but you hate cutting it, or at least I do. You know, it's kind of funny. Man is uniquely tied to grass. If you look in Genesis, when man was driven out, he's told to bake bread and have seeds in the bread from the grass to remind him of where he came from. And almost every culture in the world makes some sort of bread. May not be made out of wheat, but it's normally made out of some sort of grain if they have it available. And then they make other breads out of other stuff that's not grains, of course. And ironically, this is backed up by those that use science solely. And you look at the evolution of creatures as being proposed by science, and man comes along at about the same time as grass. And if you have grass, which most people do if they own a home, then you got to cut grass. To cut grass, you need a lawnmower. Now this right here, me and this lawnmower have had a history. It was not the first lawnmower that I got, but I bought a protection warranty. And that Craftsman lawnmower that I originally got was recalled. And so to finish out the lifetime warranty and everything, they said, look, we cannot honor the warranty anymore, so we'll give you a better quality lawnmower, but you will no longer have a warranty on it. Which I thought was, well, I don't know. I had mixed feelings on the matter. And I am the world's worst at keeping up parts and items. I hate yard work with a purple passion. And so this has been through the ringer. Originally it was a self-pulling lawnmower, but that part eventually tore up. It has been through the ringer, and it has been a long-time friend. And now I need to give it a little love, because right now it will not start when I pull it. It kind of kicks up and it wants to. So I'm going to do some repairs. The first thing I need to do is assess the filter. I think the filter is clogged. To change out the filter, or at least assess the filter, first thing to do is Briggs Stratton and Craftsman are pretty much the same. A lot of these lawnmowers are built off of the same models, so you will see a lot of comparables. Thank God. It's not like automotives and things of that nature. So I'm just using a flathead screwdriver to get this bolt out. And you can see it right here. And then if you take this off, that goes into the carburetor area. Now, to take it out is pretty simple. You just kind of pull it out. And you can see it has been well used. So this needs to go, because you can't even see light through it. There is no light to be seen. So that will, I'll clean this out, or actually I'll get a replacement. Everything's on back order, nothing locally. This is a 5.2 inch by 4.5 inch. It's the same thing as Briggs and Stratton's and about a dozen other brands besides Craftsman. So mine's Craftsman Gold 6.75. So it'll be a few days before I get this done. But the other thing I did while I ordered this, they gave me a option to buy multiple filters, and you're supposed to change this out multiple times. I never change out my filters. Again, I am the world's worst. Don't do as I do, please. But there is also a spark plug. I'm trying to get to where I see the spark plug. I can't see spark plug from this angle. I'm 6'2" and it's got a back injury, so it's hard for me to bend down, so I'll get to the spark plug. But I haven't changed out the spark plug in probably about 4 years. You're supposed to change out the spark plug every year. So in this kit, it has 5 filters and 2 spark plugs, so that'll last me a while. Poor thing, it needs more love. I'm gonna put this back. I'm gonna screw this back in right here, and you'll see me next time once I get the parts in. So it'll be a few days, but for you it'll be just for a few seconds. Well, it's been a good week since this last video, and I waited and waited and waited on a order of parts for this, and it never came, and so I canceled the ordered from Amazon. Found out that if you own a Craftsman, you pretty much own a Briggs Stratton, and so I was able to get 5 of these filters and 2 spark plugs for less than what one of the filters and one of the spark plugs cost, and I had enough money left over that I actually got some carb cleaner. So let's see what happens. So first thing I'm doing is I'm just removing this cover so I can get to the air filter. And just in case you want to know, that was an 8mm socket. You can use a screwdriver. I think last time I used a screwdriver, but I wanted to use a socket this time. Ratchet wrench, it makes it a little easier. I'm going to go ahead and take this dirty filter off, put on a new one. To do that, it's fairly simple. All you do is just pull this out, and you can blow this out right here. So I'll go ahead and just kind of give it a puff of air, but you can see how dirty it is. That's a clean one. A little bit of a difference there. So I'll blow this out real quick. Alright, then just place this back in, and that is the filter. Pretty simple. Behind the filter is this little plate area where you need to get to the carburetor, and so for that I'm just going to take those nuts off right here, and our bolts, and we'll go from there. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean some of this up with some sanitized wipes. I'm not promoting this brand per se, but there are a number of great off-brand sanitizer wipes. I just try to get the most I can for the cheapest amount of money, and usually on Amazon you buy a bunch of them in bulk, and they're great because they normally will cut through stuff that a lot of other cleansers won't cut through, so I like to use them. Okay, that got a pretty good bit of gunk out of that mess, so that maybe that'll free up some stuff, hopefully. Now, I'm not an expert in this, but from what I understand, if I just spray some this cleaner in there, that should help. Okay, it has a nice little handy dandy nozzle goes in there, and now we're just going to put this in there and squirt. Says to let it set for a few minutes. We'll see how it works. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and look at this real quick. Make sure that there's no corrosion, anything there. That looks good. And then what we're going to do now is get this out. So I'm using a 13/16 spark plug wrench. I'm going to take out the spark plug. Again, the spark plug is at the very front of this model. It tends to be that Craftsman likes to use various names for the 6.75. They have a number of names, but they're pretty much beasts. I love them. So now we're just going to do this. So let me get this off. Now this has been serviced before. This is a Champion J19L3M. So I'm just looking at this. Actually, it's not that bad. I've noticed, pardon the helicopters, but I've noticed that this right here is a little bit smaller, so we'll see. Alright, that did not have the same size spark plug, but that is fitting in. I'm going to use it for now, but I'm going to keep this other, and I'm going to order me some more of these Champion spark plugs, because I don't like these Chinese ones that came in the kit. But I think I got it tightened down enough that we'll see if this works. If it don't, I'll clean up the Champion, and either way I'm getting more Champion spark plugs. But I'll clean it up just to be a spare. While I'm at it, might as well go ahead and clean this part and also that other part that I blew out. I got a pretty good bit of gunk out of that right there just with this right here. It's amazing how much gunk you can get. So I figured it, while I'm in there, I might as well clean it up while I do it halfway. So let's do the other. Okay, so you can see I got a pretty good bit of grime out of that, so I'll put the filter back in there and we'll start putting this back together. Now the first thing we gotta do is put this back here, so we'll do that now. Okay, I got the screws started. What I did is I just put screws in, then I put them in there and then just hand tighten them so that none of them are coming out right now, so that I can then use the socket wrench to drive them in. Should mention this is plastic. Over the years, Craftsman has cheaped out on some of their stuff, which really it's not Craftsman, it's Briggs Stratton. Let's be honest, this engine right here is a Briggs Stratton, so I can't blame Craftsman. Briggs Stratton has cheaped out over the years. So this is plastic. This used to be metal. It's plastic. A lot of stuff is plastic now that used to be metal. So tighten it only just barely tight. Don't over tighten it, because you can crack the plastic and you don't want to do that. Now if you look, this bottom part has some pegs go into a slot, so it just fits in right here. And of course I've got camera on, so it's hard to do. And then this will go into that, see that little nut right there goes into that copper, or not copper but brass, and then I will tighten this up with the socket wrench. Alrighty, time to see how this works. It took a few tries, but it works. Something that I wanted to mention before we sign off. Around Christmas every year, you can buy these automotive kits, and they have everything in the world in them that you could possibly need. I mean, that's got a mallet, that's got my socket wrench, that's got the, and they're super cheap. They're normally made in Taiwan, so they're not the best quality. I'm not saying these are quality items, but what I am saying, they come in a case. First thing I would do is take the electrical tape out because it gets gummy, especially in this Florida heat, and it rips that foam protective barrier. But it's all organized, snaps in, it has a nice little carrying case. They all have a good carrying case. The tools are not the best in the world, but they work, and they have pretty much everything that you would need. I mean, they don't have like a big screwdriver or anything in there, but they have the attachments for a screwdriver, so you can make things work. And like in this case, if I bought all these tools, I wouldn't have the money for it. It's too expensive these days. And so even though it's not the best tools in the world, they work. And that's the thing. There is a growing number of people in America, and I am included in that number. So I am saying this is sadly too big of a number that do not do repairs. And a lot of it is that we don't know how. And the other part is that a lot of the stuff you can't repair nowadays. They make it where you can't repair it. But on the stuff that you can, most things will be handled by this little case. And like for instance, these automotive fuses. The other day I was helping my sister-in-law, and my father-in-law was there, and he is much more versed on things than I am, and he actually had to call for help. And they were fixing an AC unit. I did not know AC units have automotive fuses in them. So that pack of automotive fuses could fix your AC unit. That's the thing about it. This can be used for a number of things. I do not know how many times I use an Allen wrench. They're super handy, and I always lose them. But I can't if it's in here. So at Christmas time, they come. Some of them will have different things in it. So if you find one that has one thing in it and the other one don't, buy 2 or 3 sets. They're worth it. And just have them stored away. That way you don't have to have a huge tool chest or whatever. You can have just some basics to do some common things like tuning up a lawnmower that I've never done before in my life until today. And that brings me to the other part. A huge shout out to the lawnmower lady. I just want to say thank you to her. She makes things where it's simple to understand, and I really do appreciate her for what she does. Well, that was on the scale of how hard projects could be, and the fact that it was a supply chain issue because of the nitwits and power, not because, you know, I was just not able to, I was not able to get the parts. That's what took the longest amount of time. That's what I'm trying to say. Had it not been for the supply chain issues, and I apologize, but mosquitoes are out in force out here. Welcome to Florida. That's our state bird, is a mosquito. But anyway, what I was saying, had it not been for supply chain issues, we would have had this done 30-45 minutes top. It was fairly easy. It took about 8 pulls, and we had lawnmower going. There was huge black smoke, and now it pulls up it pulls and starts very easily. So it's a simple fix. There was no reason for me not to have been doing this, other than the fact that 1, I did not know, and well, 2, I'm just horrible at lawn care and maintenance in general. So it's my nature, which I need to get out of. So I would strongly urge you to do routine maintenance, even though I don't do what I say do. Don't do what I do. Don't be like me. Be better than me, please. And if you like this video, if you found it helpful, you know, if you're like me and you're clueless and you need help, and I learned a way of doing it, if it's helpful, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think. Comment down below if I did something wrong. I have no ego. I know I sound like I do sometimes, but I really don't when it comes to fact. If I know what I know, I will defend it until data proves me wrong. But if I don't know, tell me. Let me know. What did I do wrong? What should I have done better? What should I be looking at? Put those comments down below, not just from me. Not just so I can do more content and say, hey, look, you need to do this. It's not that. There are people that read the comments and they are clueless like I am sometimes. And if you know something that I don't know and you comment, you could be helping out hundreds if not thousands of people just by placing a handy comment. You know, all I ask is keep comments civil. That's it. And you're not going to hurt my ego one bit. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye.